All right, problem number 2. Once again, I will show you both methods, and then after this, I will use whichever method would be easier. Sometimes synthetic will be easier, sometimes long division will be easier. So I'm going to show you both one more time with this problem, and then from here on out, we'll do just one. And I don't mind which method you do. I know sometimes it says use long, sometimes it says use synthetic. I just want you to learn both and then do whichever one gets you there the fastest. So I want you to work smarter, not harder. And then you'll see there are instances which I will explain to you when it's better to use one over the other. So number 2, the original problem is x to the third plus 3x squared minus 6x minus 13. And then this is all divided by x minus 1. So this time, I'm going to do synthetic first. So remember, you start out with your divisor, x minus 1, set it equal to 0. And then you add 1 to both sides. And it gives you x equals 1. So 1 is going to be your box number. And then you make sure you have all your terms. So my biggest degree is a 3. So I'm going to count from 3 to 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. So we have all of our terms. Now I'm just going to list the coefficients, so the numbers in front. Now again, if any numbers were missing, I will put a 0 in that position. And you have to do that, otherwise the problem will not come out correctly. So the number in front of the x cubed is a 1, understood to be a 1. And then a 3, and then a negative 6, and then a negative 13. You draw your line and you bring the first number straight down. So you make sure you skip some space when you draw that line. And then everything below the line you multiply by 1. 1 times 1. You multiply by whatever is in the box. So 1 times 1 will give you a 1. And then you add or subtract if there were different signs. So this time we're going to be adding. So we get 4. And then 1 times 4 is a 4. And then since there are different signs, we subtract and get a negative 2. And then we do 1 times negative 2. And that will give us a negative 2. And then we would add because both the signs are the same. And that will give us negative 15. So this is your remainder. Whatever you get in the last box is your remainder. Now, this problem started with x cubed. So you go down 1 degree. So we're going to start with x squared. Okay. So this is 1x squared. Since this is positive, it is plus 4, and then x, and then minus 2. So this gets you your polynomial, and then since this is negative, I'll write minus 15 over your original divisor, which is x minus 1. So the only thing you have to be aware of is how to write your remaining row as its polynomial. So the 1 is understood, so normally we don't write that 1. So it's just x squared, 4x minus 2, and then minus the 15 over x minus 1. So this is our solution. Now we're going to do the same thing with long division. So we've already established that x minus 1 is our divisor. And then inside of our box, we're going to put our x cubed plus 3x squared minus 6x minus 13. And again, you only focus on the first term only. Okay, so I want this to be the same as this. So the numbers are already the same. They're both a 1 in front. After that, we have to get the variables the same. So we have 3 x's. Okay, we have 1 and we want 3. So we need 2 more. So that means we need x squared up here, so that the x's will add to be 3. This plus this will give you 3. Then when you do the multiplication, x squared times x, that will give you x to the third. And then you do x squared times -1. X squared times -1 will give us a negative x squared. And then from this step, you change the sign. So this will become negative, this will become positive. And then we subtract, that goes to 0. Add, because they're both the same sign. And this will give you 4x squared. And then from there, you're going to bring down the next term. And then repeat the process. So again, this is my first term that I'm focused on now. I want this to match this. So as far as numbers, I need to multiply by 4. So I'm going to put a plus 4 because that's a positive 4 that I need. I have 1x. I need 2 x's. So that means I need 1 more x. X plus x gives me 2 of them. So this is what we have. We're going to multiply this by both terms. So 4x times x will give me 4x squared. And then 4x times a -1 will give me a negative 4x. And then we change the signs. This will become negative. This will become positive. And since we're toward the bottom, let's scoot up a little bit. And then we're going to combine. So this will always go to 0 if you've got the same sign. And then we subtract here, and that will give us a negative 2x. And then we bring down the last term, which is a -13. All right, and then from there, this is my first term. I want this guy and this guy to match. So the numbers in front, I need to multiply by a -2 to get them to be the same. And then we have 1x, and we only need 1x. So just multiplying by a -2 will get me there. So -2 times x will give me a -2x. And then -2 times a -1 will give me a +2. And then you change the sign. So this will become positive. This will become negative. And then we combine. This goes to 0. This goes to a -15. Since there's no more left, this is my remainder. And this is your polynomial. So when you put it all together, you just bring this up and you say, okay, -15 over the x minus 1. Okay, and you get the exact same answer, okay, in both scenarios. X squared, 4x, -2, -15 over x minus 1. So that is our solution here. X squared plus 4x minus 2 minus 15 over x minus 1. All right, so now from here on out, we're going to do just one method, whichever one is going to give you the less work.